Hey guys, Nini. Like it says in the description, I probably should have done this pre-recorded, but I thought it's been a while since I've done a live video on my page. So here is your chance to get very interactive with me as I discuss a few things. My son is here, as always, so I have something playing in the background. He's probably gonna whine or throw his toys, so it's not gonna be like 100% silent, so forgive me if you can't really hear me. So I'm gonna try to talk as loud as I can. Yeah, that's him. Anyways, so I wanted to discuss something that I think a lot of people don't really know or don't think about. So comedic muses and what I do, while it may look fun, it may look engaging in that sense, I don't know, not really like you would normally see historians and Egyptologists do. So a lot of people don't really think that I'm very educated in that sense. And I'm only presuming. I could be wrong, but it's just something that has been a little bit on my mind, especially with the type of stuff that I do. So I really, really wanted to explain some things. So I am not like your average Egyptologist. I'm not your average historian. Those who've been following me for a very long time know that I really do things out of the box, out of the lines per se. I color very much out of the lines. Hello, Shandella. And it's not something that people are used to. It's not something that people tend to accept right away unless they really know me. So with Comedic Muses and my personal page and my personal profile, I really get everywhere. And so when I talk about information, when I speak on facts, when I speak on things that I've read, that I've researched, I know I don't put a lot of my resources out there, and there is a reason for that. But people maybe tend to not take me so seriously because I'm not conducting myself in what is normally and should be very professional, because of the stuff that I'm delving into. The reason why I don't put my resources out there is because I am writing a book, and I'm still trying to figure out my resources, my information. I'm still researching. I'm still teaching the muses. I've had people request all of my research for free for their tour guide itinerary, for their benefit, for their income. And so I've really taken aback everything that I used to just kind of freely give, in a sense. A lot of people have told me that I should be paid for my information. And I don't, while I agree, I'm not quite there yet, like somebody who would be a speaker or somebody who teaches, per se, but I have really concealed and have kind of locked down my information. But with that, I have only been researching Egyptologists. That's like the only, that's really the only place where I get my information are from Egyptologists. Because I don't really, it's not that I don't trust the spiritual community. It's not that I don't trust Egyptophiles who research on their own just the same as I do, but maybe not go for a degree. But it's just when I'm trying, Seti, stop. You're fine. But when I try to make a name for myself, when I'm trying to teach, when I'm trying to educate, those places are not something that I really desire. Just because I want to be taken seriously. I want to be credited. I want my information to be as accurate as possible. Now, I do also read, especially since I was a child, E.A. Wallace Butch. He's one that I look back to because Egyptology is such a brand new degree. It's a brand new field. It was really pushed in the 1920s when Tutankhamun was founded by Carter. And then it's just reeled up. I mean, archaeology was actually accidentally founded as well with the finding of the tomb. So it's really something that's fresh. And I just want to be taken seriously. I don't do a lot of things where people take me seriously, but that's my goal. And people do come at me and challenge my information. They challenge my facts. They, you know, sometimes I get people who tell me I'm just bullshitting and I'm wrong. And that everything that I'm saying and doing is completely false. And Egypt is something that I am incredibly protective of. I think I rage more about Egypt than probably anything else in my life. Especially when people try to tell me that I'm wrong. I rage hard. I see red. It's not good. But I just want people to know that when I ask for sources, or I ask where they get their information from, or, you know, anything of the sort, and people who give me hobbyists, spiritualists, people who try to take their own spin on Egyptian facts and symbology, things like that, I can't take it seriously because they're not done by Egyptologists. I mean, because there's not a lot of information really about Egypt and about, you know, their true reasons on why they worship this goddess or why they use this symbology. Like the Ankh, you'll see so many different reasons why the Egyptian favored the Ankh. Between the womb, between the equilibrium, or no, that's the Eye of Horus, but you get what I mean. There's just a whole bunch of different varieties, and the Egyptians, they threw out the brain. Why? I mean, just honestly, why would they take a symbol like the Eye of Horus and connect it with something of a part of our brain that is really informative, that really kind of proves something to us as far as like our spirituality and our mindset, consciousness, things like that. When they throw out the brain, it just doesn't make any sense to me. So while I'm a witch, while I'm a spiritualist, while I am an occultist, I just don't take these things seriously. I just don't. It's just a personal preference. When it comes to Egyptology, I look at things very logically, very realistically, almost to the point of where it's black and white. I don't really allow myself to evolve a thought process behind it from what I read, because there's just not enough information for me to do so. It's more of just the Ankh was a divine symbol. It was incredibly important, and the only people that could carry or be depicted with an Ankh were the pharaohs and the deities. Long life. I get where they're coming from with that. Honestly, to me, I don't need to question more, because there's just that. How they came up with the Ankh, that's a whole other story. I don't think we'll ever know, to be honest, their thought process behind their symbologies. where they got it from, other than the Eye of Horus. Maybe I'm not delving deep enough into it, but it's just one of those things where when it comes to Egypt, I just don't care about the spiritual aspects. I don't care about the modern Kemeticism or the reformed or the changed or whatever. I just don't care about it because the information is not done by Egyptologists. They're done by spiritualists. They're done by hobbyists. They are done by Egyptophiles that take their own spin on it, their own opinions. They're not accredited by peer reviews or peer journals. Nothing like that. I can't take it. I really can't. And there have been times where I've asked for non-New Age, non-spiritual information that's written by Egyptologists, and people don't tend to listen. So with that, I have so much thoughts going in my head. I know I'm doing something that's spiritual, but it's also based entirely on how the ancient Egyptians practice. Entirely, from front to center. Yes, I do modernize a little bit of things. Whether it's, with Bastet's festival, this is something that I've had to take away, but it was incredibly important to their festival. Because Bastet's festival not only worshipped Bastet, but it was an honor to women. Whoever you were, if you were in Egypt during this time, whether you were a prisoner, a slave, a servant, or just nobility, a regular